Hi kids, welcome to Children's Church. Before we learn about the next Bible hero, let's see what we remember about Abraham and Sarah. After the quiz, Mrs. Weimer is going to teach us about Abraham and Sarah's son, Isaac.
Good morning, boys and girls. So, for the past couple of months, we have been talking about this race that we're all in. That's a life. But we've said that you don't race against anyone else, but you're also not running alone. God is always with you. And not only that, but there is this great cloud of witnesses that is there, that has gone before us, that are cheering us on. All of those people are found in Hebrews chapter 11. That's called the faith chapter. And that's what all those people have in common. They all had such amazing faith in God. And we can look at their lives and see how they had faith, and then we can know that we can have faith too. So today, I'm going to tell you the story about one of those guys. Now, the last 2 weeks, you have heard about Abraham and his wife, Sarah. Well, today we're going to talk about their son, Isaac. Now, Isaac was born to Abraham and Sarah when they were really, really old, but he was a very special boy because the promise that God made to Abraham was going to come true through Isaac. So as Isaac got older, his dad knew that he needed to get married. But they were living in a different country far away from their hometown. And Abraham knew it was really important that Isaac marry someone from his hometown. But he also didn't want to send Isaac back there to get a wife. So he sent one of his helpers instead. He sent his servant named Eliezer. Now, he told Eliezer, make sure you find the perfect bride for my son Isaac. Make sure she's from the right family, and make sure that she's willing to come back here and live, because God is going to bless the whole world through Isaac. Well, Eliezer was really nervous about this because that's a really big job to find a wife for somebody else. He thought, how am I ever going to find the right person? And when I find the perfect girl, how is she going to know that I'm telling the truth and if she's going to want to even come back with me? And then if she comes back with me to meet Isaac, what if they don't like each other? This was a really big job, but Eliezer trusted God too. So he took a whole bunch of camels, and he took a whole bunch of nice clothes and jewels and things like that, and he traveled for days and days and days back to Abraham's hometown. Well, on his way, he was praying, and he said, God, I know that you can help me find the perfect wife for Isaac. And as he got closer to the town and he could see in the distance the well outside of the city, he said, okay, God, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to the well, and if the right woman comes to the well, I want you to show me by me asking her if she would give me a drink. And when I ask her that, if she tells me, I'll give you a drink and I'll also get water for your camels, I will know that she is the one that you have picked out for Isaac. Well, as he got closer to the well, there were no girls there. There were just a whole bunch of guys there. But then he looked up and saw a very beautiful young lady walking towards him with a whole flock of sheep. As she got closer, Eliezer said to her, excuse me, but could I get a drink of water from you? Guess what she said? She said, sure, I'll give you a drink, and I'll even get some water for your camels. Oh, Eliezer started praising the Lord. He was so excited. God had showed him the woman that was picked out for Isaac. But then he had to tell her. Well, he asked her where she was from, and she said she was from Abraham's hometown. So he asked if he could go back to her house and talk to her father. So that's what he did. He went back to her house. Her name was Rebecca, and he actually talked to her big brother, Laban. And he said, look, my master is Abraham. I'm his servant. He has a son named Isaac, and Isaac needs a wife. Well, Laban was very excited because he knew who Abraham was. And he said, absolutely, you should definitely have Rebecca to take back to Isaac. This was really exciting. But Laban said, how about if you let Rebecca stay here and say goodbye to everybody? Maybe spend a couple of weeks to tell everybody goodbye, give hugs and kisses and all that kind of stuff. Well, Eliezer knew he had to get back as quickly as possible, and he said, I just don't think I can wait that long. So Laban said, well, let's leave it up to Rebecca. Now, Rebecca had never met Eliezer before this, and she'd never ever met Abraham or Isaac. But when they asked her, she said, this is definitely what God wants me to do. So she got up and she went with Eliezer all the way back to where Isaac was. When he saw them coming a long distance off, Rebecca saw Isaac in the field, and she said, Eliezer, who is that? He said, that's Isaac. Oh, when Rebecca saw him, she fell in love with him. And what's more than that, when Isaac saw Rebecca, he fell in love with her too. So God had made it so the two of them fell in love with each other and they got married right away. It's such a cool story. I love that story. It's about true love. It's just a fantastic story. But what does that have to do with you and having faith? What does that have to do with trusting God? Well, certainly Eliezer had to trust God to make sure that he got the right wife for Isaac. And certainly Isaac and Rebecca had to trust God that they would like each other, right? But the other thing that I want you to realize about this story is that God always keeps his promises. He can be trusted because he keeps his promises. See, God had told Abraham that he was going to make his descendants into a great nation, and he was going to do that through Isaac. Well, Isaac needed a wife to be able to do that. And so he sent the perfect wife for Isaac. Rebecca was the perfect bride for him. And because they trusted him, he kept his promise. And no matter what happens, you can trust that God will always keep his promises. He promises that he's always going to take care of us no matter what. So maybe if your mom or dad lost their job and you're worried that you might not have enough money, God promises he's going to take care of you, and he will. Maybe someone in your family is kind of sick and you're worried how they're going to do. God promises that he is the great physician and he's watching out for everybody. You can trust him. No matter what it is you're worried about, no matter what it is you're facing, no matter what it is you have to deal with, God promised that he loves you so much, and everything that he does is for your good and his glory, and you can trust him because his promises always come true. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Mrs. Weimer. Kids, do you remember the verse from last week? Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. If we can remember this verse, it will help us run our own race and finish strong. Now let's finish up with a fun song to get us moving today.
Everybody clap your hands. Now stop. I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power. Yeah, yeah, God's power. It's the power to move any star. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. So don't hold back, no, don't hold still. God is here and he is real. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back. Let's do it all again right now. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now freeze. And everybody clap your hands. Now stop.
Thanks for joining us for Children's Church today. Don't forget to have your parents register for Summer Blast off. Have a great day.